Today, I want to talk about the thing that most of you should have, that all of you should have. Strike that. All of you should have, but most of you don't. Most of you don't have this thing because you feel like it's too complicated to put it together, too hard to keep it updated, and just generally too much time invested for you to bother with it. All of you know you should have it. Most of you don't. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and stop leaving you in suspense. I'm talking about membership sites or some kind of reoccurring passive income, right? Something that just makes you money every month and you don't have to do a lot for it, right? Some kind of recurring membership. That's what I'm talking about right now, guys. I want to welcome you to the epicconversions.com podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning on this fine Monday morning, and we're getting into another one. Okay, so my experience personally with membership programs, I've talked about it before on this podcast, but I want to talk about it a little bit more today. Started back in 2013 when I opened up the adventuresontheriver.com membership program. And, I opened that because I was motivated to do so by a book I was reading. It was called Membership Sites That Make Money by a guy named Perry Belcher. I'm sure that book's still available on Amazon for like $2.99 or something. If you want to get your pennies together and pick it up. But it's funny because I always tell that story, and so many people always say to me, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I don't know how that book did anything for you, right? They always say that. And, I can't explain it because I can't tell you what motivates some men to do things and what has no effect on others. I couldn't tell you. All I can tell you is that book in particular really flipped a switch for me mentally and got me to get into membership programs. And I've never not been in a membership program since then. So adventuresontheriver.com was my first one. Then I found success with that, just running traffic from YouTube to the membership program. So I repeated it in a different niche, and I created blendingforyourhealth.com. And then I had two membership programs going that were making me money. And then, a couple years later, I created the Epic Conversions Insiders Club, which is a membership program that's still going on to this day. So that's good. And then after that, a little while after that, I created the Super 20 Club, which is another membership program that's still going on to this day. So the first two I closed, and the second two are still actually going on to this day. They're a part of epicconversions.com. So that's been my personal experience with membership programs. I've done three different products on membership programs. The first one, so if you want these, they're out there. You can find them out there. Go to warriorplus.com, and that's where my products are right now. Don't know if they're going to be there forever. I might start taking them down. I don't know. But right now they're there. I know that. You can reach out to me by email at camjenningspro@gmail.com. If you're interested in the products I'm talking about and you can't find them, just reach out to me by email and I'll get you a link. So don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Just hit me up by email. The first product I did about membership programs was called Membership Dons. And Membership Dons was about my past experience with Adventures on the River and how I was getting ready to start the Insiders Club, what I planned on doing. So Membership Dons talked about what I'd done before and how I planned on doing it moving forward, so that if someone wanted to copy what I was doing, they could copy that method to my madness. It talked about different kinds of content you can put in there. It talked talked about ways you could set up your system for taking payments every month. Just talked about a lot of stuff like that. Membership Dons is a really cool product. So then about a year into running the Insiders Club, I wanted to kind of like talk about membership programs again and what I learned after a year or so of running the Epic Conversions Insiders Club, because I had gained more knowledge after running it for a year. So I did this product called The Drive, and it's a really cool product, and it has a different feel to it, because The Drive, I basically set the camera up in my van, and I had some talking points, right? Things that I wanted to make sure I talked about, some bullet points. I taped them to my dashboard, and I went on this drive, and I talked about the things that had made a difference for me over the past year and helped me grow the Insiders Club. And that's what The Drive was. And then I put some actionable stuff in there in another video with like a mind map and stuff like that for the people who just really wanted actionable content. But that was called The Drive, and that was the second product that I put out on membership programs. Then what happened was I learned this really interesting bit of information about credit card companies a few years later. And that was really what inspired me to start the Super 20 Club. And I think I've spoke about the Super 20 Club here on this podcast before, but if I haven't, I'm going to talk about that with you now. But this credit card company thing is what inspired me to start the Super 20 Club. And when that happened, I started my fourth membership program, but I also wanted to do another product about the concepts behind my fourth membership program. And this was called the Easy 23. And what the Easy 23 was it was a product that talked about 23 different ways to make membership programs or membership sites, or 23 different ways to produce recurring revenue for you that would leverage work that you were already doing, right? So it was a really, really cool product, and that's probably one of my favorite products that I've ever created. And when I created the Easy 23, it was really meant to be, my version of membership sites that make money, to be honest with you. I wanted to try to flip the switch for some people the way that Perry Belcher book flipped the switch for me all those years ago. But anyways, these three products together make up the membership program trilogy, the continuity trilogy, as I call it. But if you buy the Easy 23, you'll get the other two products with it as a bonus. So that's all you got to do really is look up the Easy 23 on Warrior Plus, and you can get all those products in the continuity trilogy for that one low price. But anyways, that's what happened. So that was what was going on with me with membership programs. So that's my personal experience, right? What I want to talk to you about, though, what I really want to focus on with this podcast is the part where I was talking about credit card companies. Okay. So 2016, this is about 3 years ago. 2016 was a rough year for a lot of people. It really was. It was an election year, and a lot of crazy stuff was happening for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't have a good year financially in 2016. Now, one group of people did have a great year financially in 2016. Okay. And that group of people was the credit card companies. All right. The credit card companies amassed $163 billion in 2016. $163 billion in 2016. All right. Now, this is the interesting thing. And this is what I mean. This is the lesson I want you to take away. Okay. When it comes to, this is the thing I really want you to get. Okay. When it comes to membership programs and continuity. I talk a lot about leveraging like what you are already doing, leveraging work you are already doing. Don't create a ton more work for yourself. Like if you're doing a blog, how can you use the work you're already doing on your blog to make a recurring income, right? So let me explain this credit card thing, and then we'll come back to this really quick. But so with the credit cards, what I noticed was the credit card companies were making a lot of different income off of just one thing, a line of credit. Like they were extending people a line of credit, but there was all these different revenue streams associated with this one line of credit. Let me break this down for you. Their number one revenue stream in 2016 was interest income. That was the money that they made in interest off of the customers using their credit cards. It was $63.4 billion. All right. Now, the number two stream of revenue was interchange income. Okay. Now that was $42.4 billion, right? That's just behind the interest income. Now, what is interchange income? You might wonder, what is that? Well, I'll tell you what that is. That's basically the credit card companies charging the merchants on a per transaction basis for the right to accept their credit cards. Like if I own a gas station, I have to pay MasterCard for the right to accept MasterCard, right? Now I'm going to do this because it's going to increase my business, right? If I can't accept all these credit cards, then less people are going to come to my gas station, right? Because I don't take enough different payment options, right? So I do it, I pay it willingly, right? And I pay them for it, right? Per transaction. They hit me every transaction. And those interchange income transaction fees, $42.4 billion for the credit card companies. Now think about this for a second, guys. We're talking about the same exact thing being charged for twice by two different people, right? The credit card companies are charging the customers for the right to use the credit cards in interest, and they're charging the merchants for the right to accept the credit cards in the form of interchange fees, right? Now that is brilliant. I mean, it's a little bit sinister in a way. If you think about it, it feels a little greedy, but I mean, if you look at it from a business perspective, it's amazing because they doubled their income just by adding the interchange fees. They've doubled their income, not by doing anything more, not by changing anything they were doing, but just by finding another person or another group of people who was getting benefit from work they were already doing, right? It was something they were already doing. They already were extending the line of credit to the customer, and now they found another group of people that were already benefiting off of that line of credit, and they were going to charge them as well. And they essentially almost doubled their income. All right. But it didn't stop. Credit card companies kept on finding ways to make more revenue streams off of the same exact thing, the same exact benefit. I mean, a credit card company has one benefit, you guys. It gives someone a line of credit. Basically, that's it. That's the only benefit. And they're really good at finding new ways to produce new revenue streams on that one product, right? The credit card companies added cash advance fees. This is their third highest revenue generating income stream, $26.6 billion in 2016 for cash advance fees. What's that? That's just the ability to put your credit card in an ATM machine and get some actual cash back, right? Cash advance, right? They charge more fees for that. Annual fees, $12.5 billion. What's an annual fee? That's just a fee that they charge a customer every single year, once a year, for the right to use the credit card. Now, that's in addition to any interest fees that you get on your credit card when you use it, right? It's just an annual fee. Penalty fees, $12 billion. What's penalty fees? When you're late making a payment on your credit card, you get charged a penalty fee. Enhancement income, $6.3 billion. And I didn't even look that one up. To be honest with you, I have no clue what enhancement income is. I'm sure we could find it if we just looked. Enhancement income is made up of extra services that can come with your card or are available through it, such as insurance products, right? So enhancements fees. That's the only thing on that list that actually adds something, right? Isn't that amazing? They made the least amount of money off of the one thing that actually adds something to the benefit, right? A credit card gives you a line of credit. All of their income, all the $163 billion, except for $6.3 billion of it, was just leveraging an existing benefit. Enhancement income is what they made the least amount of money on, and it's the only thing that actually adds some benefit to an existing benefit. So that's credit cards, right? And you can think in your mind, we all kind of have a negative perception of credit cards, but if you think in your mind, about it really seriously, I mean, this is genius. And this was my inspiration for not only the Super 20 Club, but also creating the Easy 23. And when you're out there right now, thinking about a reoccurring membership program, I want you to seriously consider how credit card companies operate. And I want you to think about work that you're already doing and how you could leverage that to produce a recurring income. Now, look, I got 3 steps to do this, okay? I got 3 steps to help you get on the right track with starting a membership program, starting a some kind of continuity program, some kind of reoccurring income that's as passive as possible, right? You don't want to produce a bunch of extra work for yourself. But I got 3 steps to help you do this. Before I get into that, though, let me just say really quick, if you've gotten value out of this podcast, okay, if you've enjoyed listening to me talk about credit card companies and reoccurring income, listen, man, I want you to head over there to epicconversions.com, pick up your free copy of Email Hacks, 10 profitable email hacks, right? And these things work even if you don't have an email list, right? Even if you're a brand spanking new newbie, green as green can be, you don't even have an email list, you can still get benefit from that 10 email hacks book. All right. And I'm going to tell you, you want to get over there and pick it up, especially if you're new. You're going to get a lot of benefit out of it. The newer you are, the more benefit you're going to get out of it. And that's the way I designed it to be. So if you're wondering, well, how is that even possible? How can I use 10 email hacks when I don't even have an email list? That's why you got to get over to epicconversions.com and check it out, man. That's what I'm telling you. All right. So about these 3 steps, okay? I want to give you a lesson here today. I want to give you a takeaway on this. It's 3 steps, all right? First of all, I want you to get out there right now, today. Do it today. Sit down at the table and do it today. And I want you to make a plan for reoccurring income, right? Some kind of continuity program that is attached to your business or the business you're trying to start. I don't care if it's a YouTube channel you're doing. I don't care if it's a blog you're doing, some kind of authority blog. I don't care if you're a product launcher and you're launching products. I don't care if you do affiliate marketing. I don't care what you're doing out there. I want you to sit down at the table today and I want you to figure out a plan to produce some kind of recurring income that's attached to that plan that you're doing right now, okay? Step 2, I want you to leverage the work that you're already doing. I want you to take a tip from the credit card. I want you to pull a page out of the credit card company's playbook, all right? Don't create more work for yourself. What can you do to already to leverage something you're already doing? If you're doing an authority blog, maybe you can start a membership program that licenses your content. Maybe they could pay you $20 a month And that gives them PLR license to use the content that you publish on your blog, right? So they can use that content for their blog, right? Maybe it's that. Now that's pretty funny, right? That wouldn't cost you, that wouldn't take anything. All you have to do is create a license. And every time you publish a blog post, boom, that's the content. It's almost like your content is doing two different jobs, right? And that is what I mean by taking a page out of the credit card company's playbook. One benefit, providing two different services, right? Pretty amazing. One benefit, servicing two different groups of people, right? Pretty cool. All right. Now, step 3, all right? And this is the most important step, you guys. If you mess this up, nothing's going to work for you. I need you to take imperfect action, okay? Imperfect action. And I mean relentless imperfect action. You can't just keep on thinking about it and planning it out and then not do anything about it. You don't need to know everything there is to know about membership programs to start a membership program. You know, my first membership program, adventuresontheriver.com, I started it, and for 2 months, I didn't make any money. I didn't make any money at all. I couldn't figure it out. I was pushing traffic from YouTube to my ebook, and it was making a little bit extra money. But then when I started trying to push traffic from my YouTube channel to my membership program, it wasn't making any money at all. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And what I finally figured out was my checkout process was broken. They couldn't buy it even if they wanted to. It took me 2 months before I actually checked my checkout process. My reasoning behind it was, hey, if they can't check out, then they tell me about it. No one's emailed me about it. Obviously, it's working. I don't need to worry about that. Wrong. I did need to worry about that. First lesson I can tell you, nobody's going to tell you when something's not working. They're just going to move on to the next thing. They don't care. They can't be bothered to email you, man. I'm telling you. The internet's too fast for that kind of thing. So, yeah, but I was green. That's the point. I was green. I was taking imperfect action, right? And I ended up making a lot of money doing it. So what I'm telling you is take imperfect action. You can learn on the way. You can adjust on the way. Take the imperfect action. All right. That's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you got value out of this. Hope it's helped you this morning. Have a fantastic day. Be sure to get over there to epicconversions.com. Get your free copy of 10 email hacks. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Peace, everybody.